Hey guys, it's your boy Noku, and welcome back to a brand new year of 2026. A year I have a lot planned for, but still want to get this video out before I do anything. I'm making this quick pre-intro segment as to, first of all, apologize for such a late upload. I've been working at this video and was planning to release it between November to December around, but holy moly, I could just not get the time to work on this thing. It was so damn difficult to even make a bit of progress. That's all I really wanted to say. Just a quick apology for the inconsistent upload schedule. Anyway, onto the actual video now. Hey guys, it's your boy Noku. Welcome back to a pretty interesting video. As you may know, or if you're new and need context, I'm a pretty big fan of the Hoyoverse games. I made videos on both Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail, and I even played Zenless Zone Zero. I just haven't made a video about it because there's legitimately nothing to talk about the game that might be an interesting video idea, for me anyway. Going back, since I play all three games, I'm also active in the communities they have, for better or worse. Anyway, for the past year or so, I have been collecting and archiving some interesting posts I've come across while scrolling. Not like memes or actual good posts that light up meaningful discussions, but just long and mostly unhinged pieces of quote-unquote literature I've come across. Some of these are copypastas meant for memes, some are insane ramblings, some of them are some of the most down bad series of sentences I have ever read, and some of them are actually really well written, most likely motivated by some sense of delirium and a half a bottle of whiskey. I've gotten these posts from all three different communities, so this video will most likely be all over the place. Before we start, I want to say just in case, this video will be pure degeneracy from start to end. There will be mentions of sex, of boobies, especially boobies, and a lot of other bad stuff. I will most likely get in trouble with YouTube over this, but I really don't care. So, let's start off with something to set the mood, huh? Starting off, we have a post from the darkest depths of the Honkai Star Rail community. That being the Instagram husbando posters. I have no idea why this came out on my feed, but I knew it the moment I read the contents of this post that this definitely passes by this video's somewhat elusive standards. So what's the post about? This is special post. Fun fact. Finon can canonically get pregnant, as he is soon to be Kefali, the world-bearing titan. Kefali is both inspired by Atlas and Gaia from Greek mythology. I am unsure about Gaia, however it can be traced back with Kefali bearing or creating the world. With the words bearing, it can both be interpreted as Atlas or Kefali carrying the world, or can be interpreted as bear, which is to carry and or give birth to something. With Anaxa's theory being proven in 3.2, with casters and Poleax, Finon was once Kefali. With that information in mind, yes, Finon can indeed get pregnant and give birth, as he bore Amphorius. This is canon because I got him pregnant last night! Thanks for listening to my pep talk. Grace the BB 1 star on TikTok for the video. What's the video? Okay. Okay, dude. Okay. Yeah, the first post is like this, and it is not going to get better at all. In fact, this is one of the more tame posts in my collection, so buckle down and let's get through the rest of the Honkai Star Rail posts. Next up, we got more of a mini collection inside of my already massive collection, and that is posts pertaining to one specific character. Oh, Herta. Your intellect alone could crash a supercomputer. Cold, calculating, perfect. The way you speak, every word dipped in condescension and brilliance. It's not just hot, it's gravitational. I swear if smugness were an element, you'd have discovered it, weaponized it, and made it beg for your approval. Your eyes, twin portals to an ego so justified, it bends the laws of probability. I'd let you use me as a test subject. No questions, no hesitation. Put me on a simulation loop and forget to turn it off. Reduce me to data, and I thank you for it. And when you cross your arms to tilt your head just so, like you're disappointed in the universe for not being as efficient as you, I spiral. You are the blueprint for mechanical perfection. The way your hair flows like zero-gravity silk. That porcelain doll aesthetic paired with a voice that could slice through titanium. It's not fair. You're not real. You can't be. And your waist. Look, I don't want to say too much, but how dare it exist just like that? Just how? That's all I'm gonna say before I lose my composure. I would uninstall my personality just to be compatible with yours. I would rewrite my code, compile myself into something worthy of a half glance from you. You don't walk, Herta. You glide like the laws of physics part ways out of respect. Now, why am I so obsessed with her specifically? Well, it is as they say. Madame Herta is a peerless gem. Madame Herta is an unrivaled genius, and Madame Herta is an inimitable beauty. I have a whole treasure trove of posts put so much effort into describing the genius of her that it puts my level of admiration in shame. But for the sake of the video's length and to not make the video feel too repetitive, I will only read these 2 posts, as they perfectly describe how I feel for the character. Let's start with the more degenerate one, originating from my favorite piece of degeneracy on the internet. Okay, Buddy Trailblazer. This sub will pop up multiple times because it is just that much of a goldmine for stuff like this. Anyway, let's start reading with an appropriate title of I love Madame Herta, I love Madame Herta, I love Madame Herta, I love Madame Herta, I love Madame Herta. Great title. God, I want to fuck Madame Herta so bad! I don't care if she's that flat-chested. I'm going to destroy her backside while she mows in absolute pleasure. I'm going to breed her until I can breed no more and start a family of 10. Hell, if she wants to, she can shove her 5-foot keyblade up my ass and I would absolutely love it. Not even the Zehanortusi? What? Ziha Nortusi can outmatch what has power crept him by light years. If that can unlock another thing outside of something related to erudition, it's gonna be my ass. Fits just right in like a key that fits to a padlock. Just look at her. The perfect hack to start off the 3.x versions. She's breathable as fuck. There's no denying that. Her pussy is so moist, yet so warm like a hygrometer would fucking scream. Her exposed armpits and upper back turn me on further and further. Her boots make me yearn to get stepped on. And don't even make me start on her witch hat. The fact that she has a witch outfit makes her twice as sexier. Fucking would. In bed, morning, afternoon, or evening, in any part of the room, sideways, upside down, so on ad infinitum. She can simulate my universe any day, and so can I unto hers. Noose has blessed us with a beauty unimaginably adorable yet again. All hail the eon of erudition. All shall bow down to the Genius Society. I will fuck Madame Herta to the ends of the earth, and you can never stop me. Not even the fiercest of forces can make me resist me having sex with her, and make her a mother of many. If you thought that would be the end, then hell no, because someone sure to comment just as unhinged as this post itself and 100% deserves to spawn this video. Oh my fucking god, what is this? What is this? Wait, what is this? Not many know this, but the Herta has a pussy. It's plainly put the most outstanding vagina in the universe. Not the tightest, not the warmest, not the wettest. She's the right amount of every characteristic. Her mucus can lubricate better than industrial silicone oil. Its membranes are soft enough to trick the brain, which won't be able to compute the incredible feeling of envelopment. One single waft of her scent can captivate the gents, putting them in a frenzy in which they will unobjectionably obeyed the pussy. I love how it's capitalized. Doing whatever for even a look. The outer shape is elegant and pristine, evoking reverence and worship. Her lips are so soft, elastic, and tasty that nobody is able to stop giving oral to her willingly. While not overly so, her fluids are abundant, and will generously reward this effort. While nobody can prove it besides Herta herself, it is speculated that she also has the highest sensitivity and reactiveness. And here's the thing, many might think that this is the result of her body manipulation, but they would be wrong. Herta has simply manipulated her age and froze it. Her pussy is all natural. Okay. But I think from these two posts alone, you guys get the point. So let's move on to something a lot tamer, but much longer. This post is a bit on the longer side, but I think it will be a fun read either way. The title of this one being, I Talked to a Girl About Honkai Star Rail. And it starts like this. She straight up asked me, hey, which team do you play the most? Upon hearing this question, my heart tightened. I began to have an intense panic attack and almost choked, so I gave my response. You know, the one that got good recently? I could see it in her eyes, a small flash of excitement. Oh, Hypercarry Finan? I love Finan. I immediately tried to explain. No, Lancasteris? Sorry, My Day? A Nuxar? A Glaya? They're not bad. Also, no. The Herda? She struggles in ST scenarios, but she's still the queen of pure fiction. Also, Madame Herda is a peerless gem. Madame Herda is a peerless gem. At this point, my head was already buried in my chest. A girl who considers Madame Herda as a peerless gem is also a peerless gem. She seemed like someone who might also accept my certain enthusiasms with Farina. I dared not even lift my head up, as I was already sweating bullets, and the atmosphere was so awkward, my twitching feet could almost penetrate a hole through the marble flooring. So you don't play Herda too? Then let me guess, you play Super Break? Then I agree, it's pretty hard to say that so openly. Her expression was already that of astonishment. In this day and age, those who would play Super Break are few in number. Either they are still clinging to old hopes and sometimes Odeon copium, or they are deranged in the mind. Just pull for E2 and you'll be fine, they say. Quite a pitiful bunch. I felt her empathetic gaze on my neck. It shook me intensely, like the time I got the pink-haired HP scaling girl whose kit revolves around losing her HP, Fushuen, when pulling for Evernight. I felt my face fluster, my breath got heavy, and my head dazed. I tried my damned hardest to calm my quivering legs, and clenched my teeth to say the words I was about to say next. This took the last of my strength. Not that either! These words were wilted when they came out of my mouth. It's no more audible than a needle falling to a dance floor. Though I promised this was the loudest that I could speak at the time. I looked up, her expression changed completely. There was this brief moment of dreadful silence. Then what team do you play? DOT? Fei Shao? Saber? Yun Li? Acheron? I thought the game only had these teams. Every single word she spoke struck me like hammers, nailing down the last few pegs of the coffin to my weak heart. I was awestruck, my soul rended apart by the sharpness of her words. Then I could hold it in no more. Along with my words, a few strong-willed yet aggrieved tears rolled out of the corner of my eye. Monoquantum. I play Monoquantum. I could see the girl regaining the flash of excitement in her eyes, as she said, Oh, how could I forget about Archer? Nice choice. He also has the highest DPS skilling in single target. Despite the AoE shielding, he could still brute force Lygus. Zila. When I said that word, the discussions around us stopped, leaving me to wallop in the silence between my occasional sniffles. Feeling the pitiful gaze from passers-by around me, I felt like an orphan dragging their disabled body to beg for spare change on the streets of Bellabog. Oh my god, I held my face in my hands. I was too embarrassed to let anyone see my miserable state. She turned to leave. At this point, tears already washed my face. I was on the floor, my two arms gripped on her ankles, and didn't dare let go. I was a clown to the people around me. The last words that I let out that day before being dragged out by the security and falling into unconsciousness were spoken at that very moment. So what, my damage is low? It's not like she's unplayable. A girl once left my friend for liking DOTs, but the devs buffed Kafka. Zila could still Zero Cycle Lygus at E0S1. Just wait until the devs buff my Zero Cycling Queen again and make her the new top 1 DPS! Overall, a pretty run-of-the-mill post by my standards, but I felt like putting in here before the absolute shitstorm the next post will be. I hope you enjoyed the normalcy this post exuded, because the rest of these posts are either pure insanity or pure degeneracy, no in between. So let's keep going for more depressing posts than most. I found this post on the March 7th main subreddit somehow, even though I'm not even a March main, but I still think it's an interesting read and a genuinely sad post if you really think about it. The post is titled, March 7th got me out of my depression. Already from the title, this sounds very worrying, but let's actually read the post first before making any conclusive judgments. March 7th got me through depression. Before HSR, I was in a state of depression due to my final year in high school. The stress of studies and pressure from my peers made it difficult for me. Not to mention I didn't have much close friends throughout high school, so it made me face the whole thing alone. But when I saw the news of a new Hoyo game and it was Honkai Star Rail, I watched one of their character trailer and it was none other than March 7th. The moment I saw her, my eyes lit up because of how beautiful she is. When I finally played HSR and saw her, I instantly fell in love with her character. Her charismatic and her bubbly personality was the sunshine throughout my year. Every time I feel down, I always log into HSR just to see her face to make me feel better. Even to this day, she's still my favorite character throughout the game. Never forget your first. I just wish she was real so I can thank her for getting me through my rough times when others weren't there for me. And yeah, I managed to do a good job on my high school finals, so I believe March did contribute to that. Dude, imagine graduating in high school and then you're like, oh my god. It's like, wow, how did you graduate? Weren't you like so depressed earlier? It's like, oh yeah, no, my girlfriend helped me through my depression. And then he pulls out his fucking phone. It's like, look, that's my girlfriend. That's March 7th from Honkai Star Rail. She helped me through my depression. I think this is like both a really sad and like really funny story. I think it's sad because people have to resort to this now instead of just talking to fucking people. I would probably be doing the same thing if I was in his shoes. I'll be so fucking honest with you. But yeah. I agree with what Past Me said back there. If this post is actually real, which there's a 50-50 chance of happening, then I wish him the best in the future and for him to actually find someone he can actually connect with. Moving on to something equally obscure but way less serious and a lot more gay. This post is from the Doctor Ratio subreddit, which I am even more confused on how I got there. I could understand March mains maybe, because she's cute and I like to look at fan art of her sometimes, but why the hell would I go to Doctor Ratio subreddit? I haven't touched a doctor in his handsome bust in years! Anyways, this post is titled, I like Doctor Ratio. This post is ridiculous. Let me just show you what it says. I'm not really a person who gets invested in characters much, but I have been imagining how living with Ratio would be a lot lately. Like once I have seen him in my dream where there was another girl, I'm a boy IRL, I was a girl in the dream, and I try to get Ratio from the girl and try to make him fall for me. I have been imagining cooking for him when he works and giving him sweets and stuff when he praises me and I would kiss him. Ew. Bro, you can... What do you mean, you? What do you mean, you? Fuck you mean, you? Okay. I never sexualize him, though, and I am not gay. Say psych right now. I want to rest on his lap and him caressing my hair. I want to rest my head on his shoulder when we are sitting in a bus. I want to do household chores for him so he can focus on his work. Talking with him will not get boring because I like how he talks casually with Stell in the Express. I would summon him for killing bugs in the house. For fun though, I can kill bugs myself fine. And he can also help me with programming problems. I think seeing his generally serious face in various situations would be fun. We can maybe take baths together and I would snuggle beside him and I would compliment his body. Maybe we would talk about the book he is reading in the light cone. By the way, a couple sentences ago he just said that he's not gay. Guys, I think this Chinese company is trying to make me like men. Help me. I think Past Me has said enough, but this guy is clearly coping. And now it's time for my favorite part of the video and what I would like to call Lightning Round Degeneracy! These posts are just either not long enough to get their own segments or would just feel out of place being anywhere else. So I compiled the worst shit I could find and dump it all here. So, without further ado, let the horniness flow in. If I was careless, not gonna lie, I would bust inside her then drink back my white juice with a straw and spit it on her back. Thanks for sharing! You know what would make Irene hotter? If she still had her brain damage as Mem. That way, every time I fuck her in the ass, she would be screeching Mem at the top of her lungs. Making sure she oh my god. Making sure she rides me while screaming, Mem, Mem, me, Mem! And passing out after I wet her fin. Whoa! Buddies, there's no way that you can convince me that Hyacinth isn't the best Connie and overall the best waifu. She's just so lovely and caring. She will take your dick with a smile no matter if you showered recently or not. She won't complain about your bad smell. She definitely lets you come inside her as many times as you need, just to make sure you feel good. She will have as many babies as you want to put inside her. She's just so perfect that she's willing to fulfill any fantasy you have. Feet, mouth, ass, breast, thighs. She will gladly do anything you want just to cheer you up. You can be rough or soft and she will always smile at you. No matter if it's a little painful for her cute small kitty, she will hold her tears just to make sure you don't feel guilty. We don't deserve this beautiful and precious healer. Oh! If she's a healer, does this mean she can keep her cycle in constant heat? This means she can basically get pregnant all the time. Basically spend more time pregnant than not pregnant? As soon as the baby's out, she's ready for another one. Clearly, this is her way of signaling that she wants to be bred. Whoa! This sounds so boring. I want Hanabi to spit on my face. If I was the Ten Lords Commission, I upgrade her rectum to a drink dispenser and mod her sphincter so that it automatically gapes when I bring my lips close to it, making it easier to drink from. Imagine all that sweet juices pouring into your mouth and you start to feel blissful like you're in heaven. Might as well impregnate her on the spot so you live happily ever after. Bro, kissing Ho-Ho is like touching the edge of heaven with trembling hands. She's all nervous, fidgety, her eyes darting everywhere like a startled squirrel. But when your lips meet hers, time stops. The fluttery little gasp she makes, I swear I ascended. Her lips are soft like cherry blossom petals in spring, and she's shaking like she just saw a ghost. Ironic, I know. And when she pulls away, flustered beyond comprehension, mumbling apologies and hiding her face behind her fluffy big ears, that kiss isn't just affection. It's an exorcism of my earthly regrets. I'm not the same person anymore. I have been ho-hoed. Okay, so for this final post, I'm going to present it a little differently. And that's because it is, without exaggeration, the worst thing I think I've read for this video. This is a comment rather than a post, and it was commented under a post of the new Battle Pass icons being showcased on, guess where, the OK Buddy Trailblazer subreddit. One person in particular reacted very strongly to this, and that is what we will be reading now. I will cut out the music and gameplay, and I will have you sit here and suffer with me as I say some of the most heinous shit that has ever come out of my mouth. Oh my god. Oh. Connie! No. God, not the Connie! Connie. Me want Connie. Me want little Connie. Connie! Sobola de matre de dun de la hopon banogodaniola gua maloguga boop. Give me that sweet Connie! Oh God, sweet Connie, I want that fresh pissy smell. I want to lick and suck and lick and suck finger and lick and finger. Lick. God, fuck. That Connie. Here, look. Take my ponos. To your vacu and kaka, let me jam it in. can't scream like this. Nah, my cute, sweet little Connie. I'm gonna come. No. Yeah. Thanks for sharing. This place is truly a gathering of some of the greatest minds in the world. I am willing to agree. Man, what an awful way to end this segment. But don't worry, we still got a lot more to go. Because now we have posts from the ZZZ side of the community, and if you know anything about ZZZ, you know the community is horny as hell. There's still some funny stuff, but it's mostly just unhinged horny posting. There's actually an entire category of posts dedicated to mathematically proving stuff like average breast milk amount and being sat on power scale? Hell, they even made one for Wuthering Waves. These posts, however, are very similar and quite boring to actually read through, so I won't read them. I don't want to waste your time before we get into the good stuff at the end of the video. Something we will read though, and isn't just horny, is this oddly racially charged post which says the following. I'm getting really tired of firings. I'm done with staying silent. It's about time somebody spoke up. Has anybody else noticed that the amount of tyrants that walk our streets is increasing? I get that the fall of Eridu affected everybody, but I feel like the tyrants are better off than us normal people. Everybody lost a big portion of their population. But let's be honest, Eridu was more populated by humans, while a lot of furballs lived there elsewhere. They got lucky. Also, they're way more inclined to breed, and already they're having way more children than us. Doesn't anyone think that's concerning? It's not going to be long until humans are a minority. Hollow work has never been more profitable than it is now. And guess what? Tyrants have way better ether aptitude than humans on average, which means they are way more suited for work in the hollows, meaning they'll be out-earning humans. They're literally already out-earning us and nobody cares. Also, they're just more physically capable than normal people, which makes them more appropriate for all types of work. They are literally going to take all of our jobs. They're taking our jobs. And don't think for a second you'll be fine since you're just going to work a service job that doesn't require physical prowess. Ooh, I'm just going to own a coffee store. Wrong! The clankers are taking those jobs from us. Now, I'm not racist and would never use the T word. Well, never unless I see some figure behavior. Oh, that's a slur. We as humans have to fight so that we don't lose our place in society. Eridu was a city for humans first and foremost. I'm not going to accept losing New Eridu to some furry and thin-skinned clankers. Lastly, I have to mention how distracting in general are. I mean, how am I supposed to focus when I see some 6'5" wolf who probably has a huge hammer? Let's keep these streets safe. Tyrants should be leashed! Aside from whatever the hell this is, everything else is just degen posting. So let's just bring them all together onto another Degeneracy Lightning Round! Why is she wagging her finger at us though? She's literally the one who picked that outfit for Alice. If anything, Yuzua would pull up Alice's skirt and show us where babies come from, and call us losers for hesitating. And then the brat teases about it. Whoa! Saying, huh? You don't want to see Alice pregnant? Whoa! Damn, Kusogaki would laugh at us while Alice blushes. Huh? Why isn't she pregnant yet? What are you, a loser? Whoa! But they would get hard to get into the mood because the brat keeps teasing relentlessly with her smug smile and smug laugh. Grrr, I'll make you a mother of 10, you brat! Whoa! I may be missing my dignity, but this brat will miss her next period! Whoa! Every time I see Yuhu... Oh my god. Yuhu. Every time I see Yuzuha, my neurons short-circuit. My body convulses, and my hand makes a beeline down south like it's possessed by an eldritch being of pure lust. I'm not even human anymore. I'm a Yuzu-fueled flesh puppet, doomed to an infinite cycle of arousal and release. Her voice, it's audio foreplay. Her thighs, built by divine design. Her animations, might as well be a 4K adult film to my diseased brain. Her little smirk, I jerked off to that smirk alone! I see a 0.1 second glimpse of her idle animation, and I'm already halfway to busting like my life depends on it. I've lost count of how many times I've knelt before my screen. It's so over for me. She's on my screen right now in her swimsuit, and I become a pathetic mess of trembling fingers, fogged up glasses, and unholy urges. I don't know whether to fight enemies or jerk off mid-combo. My brain is fried, my pants are halfway down, and my hand is playing tug-of-war with my willpower. I haven't touched grass in weeks. I haven't felt love. I don't even know who I am anymore. There's no light in my world. No peace, no relief. Only Yuzuha and my raw, blistered, overworked meat sword. I hear her voice and I'm bricked up so hard my pants fall for assault. I look at her idle pose and my soul leaves my body, floating above me, whispering again, seriously? If I die tomorrow, let my tombstone read, he couldn't handle the Yuzuha's wussy cat power. Buddies, I can't fucking take it anymore. Belle is just fucking incredible. Her perfect blue hair and her big round green eyes, her casual streetwear and sports shoes, everything from top to bottom just makes my body want to move. Buddies, I just want to blap her so goddamn fucking badly. See the thing in her arms? The cute smiley thing? You know its name? Bungbu. You know why? Because she gets to bang it every single day! For fuck's sake, the Bangbus are so lucky. 18 and 6 are visible in the video shop, but there are 16 other Bangbus. She keeps them stashed underneath her bed. You know the animation where she checks her phone before going to sleep? She actually fucks the Bangbus while you're not looking. What about his brother? Fuck his brother. Not in the literal sense. You may think that there's some incest in the house, even more if you consider the fact that there's only one bed in the entire house, but Belle actually cucks-wise with the Bangbus. She ties him up in a chair and watches her bounce on that robot dick for hours on end. And fun fact, when Wise isn't looking, Belle asks Fairy to find a way to get a Fuda dick. It's a temporary solution, but she stops the Bangbus so fucking much, the fact that they even get to look at her makes me jealous, buddies. I want to stuff her while her brother watches us. I want her to stuff me in the middle of the night. I want her caresses. I want her wholesomeness. I want her lewdness. I want her everything. I didn't have as much material for this section, but that's fine, because the next game community will make up with that by spades. We'll be going over the Genshin Impact community, and this is easily the best of the best, the cream of the crop. Some of the most vile dumb posts mixed in with master classes of writing, even including a piece of literature so long that I think it might be the longest thing I've ever read in my life. But let's start simple first, with the Degeneracy Lightning Round. I love her. I love her with every single blood cell. I would give my heart to her. I would burn the entire world down if she would ask me to. She is the reason I live and love. I breathe because of her. I see because of her unmatched beauty. I hear because of her symphonic voice. Whatever the world would say or do, I will always be to her side. I only like Yoimiya because I pretend she's my girlfriend. I don't even ever build. I just go through her text and listen to her voice. Sometimes I respond back as if I'm talking to her and we are having a conversation. I don't use her in combat because I don't want her to get hurt. I have a room in my teapot for us where we sleep together. Imagine being Capitano's loyal soldier and perishing on battlefield, and he comes to you and captures your soul to save you, but instead of putting you in his heart, he accidentally puts you in his balls for 500 years. Bro, where'd he come up with this shit? Dude, this post has 118 likes. How did I find this one? How did I find this, man? How? How the fuck did I find this one? Kaveh singing to a hyphen, then he pulls out that veiny on day that has a sound effect attached to it, and then the D starts emanating 5G Akasha waves to Kaveh's brain, so he genuinely starts tweaking and dies. Bro, how the fuck did I find this? This has 118 likes. It has 118 likes, bro. 118 likes. You've got to be fucking kidding me. Bro. Well, now we got those out of the way. Let's get into the good stuff. Starting off, we got a post for a diabolical and honestly relatable image to go along with it. The post reads as such. Oh my Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. Since Chiori is the paragon of human virtue without equal past or present, she is most resplendent in love, tributes and accolades. Waking or sleeping, I must not forget Chiori's great boon, and in order to return her favor by day and by night, I should only think of fulfilling my loyalty. Who is Chiori? For the blind, she is their vision. For the deaf, she is their music. For the mute, she is their voice. For the anosmiac, she is their aroma. For the numb, she is their feeling. For the atrophied, she is their muscle. For the starved, she is their sustenance. For the thirsty, she is their water. For the exhausted, she is their energy. For the depressed, she is their happiness. For the disillusioned, she is their hope. For the pessimistic, she is their optimism. For the disadvantaged, she is their champion. For the marginalized, she is their justice. For the oppressed, she is their salvation. For the righteous, she is their symbol. For the enlightened, she is their muse. For the erudite, she is their education. If Chiori speaks, I listen. If Chiori questions, I answer. If Chiori orders, I obey. If Chiori opines, I agree. If Chiori fears, I assure. If Chiori hopes, I dream. If Chiori is happy, I am jubilant. If Chiori is angry, I am apoplectic. If Chiori is sad, I am indisconsolate. I have never heard that word in my life. Chiori is my ideal. Chiori is my romance. Chiori is my passion. Chiori is my strength. Chiori is my compass. Chiori is my death. Jesus Christ, the word Chiori appears in this so many times. Chiori is my religion. Chiori is my ocean. Chiori is my mountain. Chiori is my sky, my air, my sun, my moon, my world. Chiori is history, present, future. If Chiori has 1,000,000 fans, I am one of them. If Chiori has 1,000 fans, I'm one of them. If Chiori has 100 fans, I'm one of them. If Chiori has 10 fans, I am one of them. If Chiori has only one fan, that is me. If Chiori has no fans, I no longer exist. If the whole universe is for Chiori, then I am for the whole universe. If the whole universe is against Chiori, then I am against the whole universe. I will love, cherish, and protect Chiori until my very last breath. My successors will love, cherish, and protect Chiori until their very last breath. Life without Chiori is no life at all. Death with Chiori is life. In the inconceivable event that Chiori is no longer in this world, leaving without her would be an unimaginable insult, and thus our only absolution will be to clear the now sullied human race from the earth. May Chiori grant us grace eternal. What? This post honestly reads a lot more like an obvious copy pasta, but the fact that such effort was put into this is incredible and definitely deserves a spot in this video. For another post in the same vein, but definitely made with different intentions, we have more of a series of posts from one particularly special user of the Arlecchino main subreddit. I will not say this username, since I want to protect his privacy, and I don't want anyone harassing him in case this video somehow gets views. Anyway, the first of these posts read as such. Is it selfish of me, for as imperfect as I am, to hopelessly yearn for father's love? Is it selfish for an ant to want all the food in the world? Is it a bad thing to want something as unhumanly perfect as her unconditional care? Is it wrong to still want something while knowing it's too good for me? I want Arlecchino to beat the shit out of me, and while I'm curling on the floor in pain, she'll hug me, apologizing with tears in her eyes. I'm surprised no pegging is mentioned. Okay. Definitely nothing too bad, but the second post is both much longer and worse. It goes like this.
What do I want? Now, obviously I can think of 1,000,000 things I want from and with Arlecchino. I want her love and affection, to be tenderly embraced in the warmth of her arms every night as we retire for the day on a shared bed. I want to be secure regularly, if not constantly, reassured by her about my worth to her. I want her to whisper sweet nothings into my ears, words of affirmation for me and solely me. Given the confidence and faith in myself, I would never have otherwise. I want her to love me unconditionally, regardless of any rough patches or bickers we face. At the end of the day, I want for both of us to have this overwhelming sense of care for each other, and etching in our souls that mutually promise to never go too far, and to always overcome these hardships together. I want her to praise me every single time I do something useful, like doing the chores and cooking and whatever. I want her to be proud of me and to show me how proud of me she is. Taking every one of her bountiful opportunities to stoke my head, patting and rubbing in a special way to make me feel ecstatic and happy that only she knows how to. I want to lay on her lap, slowly drifting off to sleep as she plays with my hair. I want to be spooned from the back as we fall asleep together, hugged from the side in situations that do not allow of a front hug, and held from the front, face resting on her ample bosom, my ear to her chest, listening to the beautiful symphonies of music known as her heartbeat, an ethereal sound unlike anything else that can be heard in this world. Additionally, when my head is on her chest, I'm able to bear witness to the rhythmic pattern of her serene breathing that is so comforting in nature. I want to feel her strong and firm fingers intertwined with mine, domineering yet gentle, forming an outlet for our souls and feelings to flow with each other. Imagine soft, gentle, and experienced lips gracing every bit of your body. Kisses on the forehead as a sign of her protection. Kisses on the cheek as a sign of her appreciation. Kisses on the hand as a sign of chivalry. And kisses on the lips as a sign of the love we share and the bond we strengthened, among other forms of kisses, that is. And in more intimate occasions, her lips will be adorned in lipstick and lip gloss, and be spread all over my body, namely down my neck, all over my face, and on my collarbone, alongside various bite marks meant to show everyone we saw in public who I belonged to, just in the case it wasn't already as blatantly obvious as it was. I want her to remember the little things about me too, my favorite color of blue and my favorite flower of peonies included. More shamelessly, I love to be showered in a stranger kind of adoration as well. Particularly, I feel like being breastfed by her, suckling on her chest as she dotes and cuddles me as if I suddenly turn into her infantile child would be nice. Something like that strangely makes me feel all warm and fuzzy. It's quite frankly disgusting, but I just can't help myself. Being called a good boy or good puppy by her really feels like it would seriously do something in my mind. Specifically, those are some of my desires I feel guilty about having the most. These are things I very clearly want, and yet I absolutely cannot bring myself to accept it. Arlecchino may be a fictional character, but even so, if she was real, there's an embarrassingly infinitesimal chance that she would return my sentiments. She is the father of the House of the Hearth, the most notable orphanage in Tefat, and thus she must have a good number of orphan children under her wing. What gives me the gall, the arrogance, to think that I, in particular, could ever have a chance to stand out to her, to be someone special to her? I probably wouldn't be enough to garner the kind of tender love I so desperately yearn from her, especially due to the pre-existing priorities of her children and her role as a Fatui Harbinger. This is where I must make an important distinction. Those fantasies are merely that, but taking a look at the situation realistically, what I really want is to love Arlecchino. Even if it's one-sided and isn't returned. Arlecchino could not be bothered to remember my name, but so long as my existence makes her life better, more convenient, and easier, I'll allow myself to be happy. I need to do everything I can to improve her life, be it cooking and cleaning for her without thanks, or attending to her every whim without acknowledgement like a slave. I want to ruin myself for her, to feel even the slightest bit better. No, I need to. I want to be loved by her, but ultimately, I need to love her more. I love her so much, and I need to do everything I can for her happiness. I love Arlecchino.
Domain expansion mental health institution. I completely agree. What do you mean you completely agree? This was the most unhinged thing I've read so far. This is a tough read, and I hope this one is actually a troll. Because I genuinely don't want to imagine that a person could be this hopelessly attracted to someone who isn't even real. And if it isn't a troll, well, I hope he's doing okay. Anyway, moving on from such a depressing set of posts, I have reserved 2 of the best possible posts for last. These 2 posts, I am convinced, are genuine works of art, not made as an effort to troll, but from a place of actual passion. Unfortunately, my theory falls pretty short since both of these were posted on the OK Buddy Genshin subreddit, but I have hope. Just a heads up, both of these posts are insanely long, with the second one taking me around 20 minutes of reading to do. I will cut down all unnecessary bits to try to shorten it as much as possible though. Starting with the first one, this one's title being Craving Chef Escoffier's Approval.
Just another day in the kitchen with her. I can't take my eyes off the head chef. Even now, as Escoffier circles around me, she has no idea, absolutely no idea what she's doing to me. That damn apron of hers does little to hide the goods underneath, as if the fabric itself is luckily to be worn by her. How is she oblivious of how irresistible she looks dressed up like that? Or maybe she knows. She has to know. The sharp curve of her waist, those childbearing hips, she's too elegant for this cruel world. She doesn't smile, not when she's in her kitchen, not when she's in the zone chasing perfection, but the angered expression of hers makes her even sexier. Do you know why you're here? I assumed I was assisting with quality control, I replied. Assumed? How adorable. You think I'd leave anything to assumptions? She stepped behind me slowly. Soon I could feel her cold fingertips on my skin. She delicately touched my shoulders, adjusting my posture. Sit straight, head forward, mouth ready, she whispered into my ear. I almost forgot how to breathe. A moment later, a cool spoon touched my lips. I tasted something impossibly rich flood my mouth. Smoky, savory, and I'm not sure what this is. I can't think straight, not when she's so close to me. Chew slowly, swallow, tell me what you think. I try my best but cannot focus at all. Before I can speak, her hand cups my chin, tilting my face upwards. Her finger brushes my lower lip slowly. You're too distracted. You're not tasting. You're reacting to me. She's right. How can I not react to this bombshell? You must learn how to separate your desire from your discipline. Otherwise, you're utterly incompetent in my eyes. I can't even answer. Not when her cold hand lingers at my neck like this. The scent of frozen citrus clings to her, sharp and punishingly alluring. Do you know what I do to incompetence in my kitchen? I lower my head, too ashamed to look her in the eyes. I don't fire them. I'm not that merciful. I break them down and refine them, and if they survive, they might be worth serving. Her delicate finger taps on my forehead mockingly. But right now, you're raw, and not the kind of raw I like, she says with that smug grin on her face. Damn it. Chef, No. You listen. She spun me around and shoved me against the prep table, her grip surprisingly strong for someone who looks so soft. I'm absolutely fed up with you. Week in, week out, something new every time. Your reductions are overcooked, your ingredients are prepped like you've never done any knife work, and don't even get me started on your plating. You are a disgrace. Yes, chef. I don't care where you worked before, but in my kitchen, we have standards. You'll remain right here until every dish oozes perfection. You're not allowed to leave until I say it's worthy. Understood? Yes, chef. Louder! Yes, chef! I shouted at the top of my lungs. I've been sweating bullets this entire time. She throws a towel over my face, like she's flinging a rag onto a dirty plate. Seems like that's all I am worth to her right now. Dry yourself off. I do so obediently, but before I can ease up, she grabs me by the collar. You're coming with me. She drags me into the prep storeroom. Cold tiles, steel racks, and no windows. No exit unless she says so. She kicks the door shut with her heel. She lets go of me, and I stumble like an idiot. This is why you stay until you can poach an egg without it looking like vomit. She reaches for a drawer beneath the counter and pulls out a leather collar. Is this necessary? I ask, hesitating. She's on me instantly, shoving me against the shelves, her grip firm against my throat. Not enough for me to have trouble breathing, but just enough to remind me who's in charge. Did I stutter? I quickly fasten the letter around my neck. A small silver tag dangles just beneath my throat. On it, there's only one word. Mutt. Perfect, now you look the part, she whispers, brushing a few strands of hair from my face. She walks across the room and perches herself on the stool as if it's her throne. Right now, she looks like the Cryo Archon. So majestic, so out of reach. Down, she orders, tapping her boot against the tile. I kneel like an obedient doggy. Lower! Soon, my face is on the ground, forehead pressed against the cold tiles. Good boy, she smiles, walking behind me. Without warning, she sits on my back, one leg crossed over another. She's treating me like her personal cushion. She reaches into a basket of raw ingredients and tosses an egg at the ground right beside my face. It cracks, yolk spilling out slowly. I want you to recite the emulsification process. In one go. It must be word for word. If I see you pause or get a single detail wrong, I throw the next one on your head. An emulsion is I hear another crack right away. An egg hits my head, the sticky yolk sliding down my neck. I don't think you heard me clearly, mutt. I said word for word, from my kitchen standards handbook, not from your sorry excuse of a memory. My heart pounds faster. I try to clear my thoughts, but I can't. Not when the queen herself is sitting on me. You have to combine the egg yolks and acid at exactly 21 degrees Celsius, and you have to begin whisking and... She quietly listens, one delicate finger trailing across my shoulder blade as she rests on me. She's feather light, hardly weighs anything at all. I would love to carry her in my arms while she bosses me around all day. And her skin? So smooth. This is doing things to me. I can barely contain my heart on. Of course, I messed up somewhere along the way while I was reciting the process. She smeared cold creme pâtissier across my cheek from a piping bag and sighed, looking at me like I'm trash. You don't get to play sous chef for as long as you're in this pathetic state, darling. I understand, chef. She leans down, her breath against my ear. I could not move a muscle. If you disappoint me again, I won't yell. Instead, I'll make you sit through the press clippings from my worst reviews. I'll have you memorize them, because, my dear, humiliation is a far better teaching method than leniency. Wouldn't you agree? I nod quickly. She exhales, satisfied, and she sits up straight again on my spine like it was the most natural thing ever. At this point, this is our daily routine. Let's take it from the top, recite the emulsification process, and do not get a single detail wrong this time. Yes, chef.
Good boy.
Good boy, she smirks. Yes, I am terrified, but I am undeniably aroused as well. Humbled, to say the least. I should be ashamed, but all I seek is her approval. Good boy. As long as she keeps calling me that, I'll stay right here, on all fours, forever, if my Queen of Scoffier demands it.
Settle down for this. This will be a long read. Well, that was one hell of a story, wasn't it? If for some reason you didn't like that one, then don't you worry. The main course has just arrived. The most unhinged, most detailed, most beautiful, in its own twisted way, piece of literature I have ever read. That post being How Hu Tao Changed My Life. This isn't just a long read. This is a life-changing experience. So buckle down one last time and get comfy and listen to me trying to read the absolute gospel that is this story.
As I write this, immense tears of pleasure flow from my eyes. Words alone cannot express the feelings and emotions my heart goes through when I think of Hu Tao. On the 22nd of February, 2021, my life changed for the better. The day I saw leaked footage of Hu Tao. Something awoke in me that day. A buzzing sensation rushed through my body. I knew it was love at first sight. I stared hours and hours at the leaked gameplay footage of Hu Tao. Her beautiful charge attacks and butterfly effects when she sprinted was mesmerizing. Then, she turned around. I froze. Her eyes, her deep red eyes, the shape of her pupils, her face. From this point, a goal sprouted in my head. Acquire C6R5 Hu Tao at any cost. A goal which I eventually did fulfill. The lengths I take for Hu Tao shouldn't be underestimated. So some people might be wondering, what's so special about Hu Tao? Or what makes her the best waifu? Well, sit back and grab some popcorn. I will enlighten you as to why Hu Tao is the best thing to be ever created since the birth of creation of the heavens and earth. Regardless the size of her bust, Hu Tao has all the qualities of a quintuple S-tier waifu. She's so precious, her smile, her beautiful unique red eyes. Not a day goes by without me listening to all of Hu Tao's voice lines on repeat for an hour while cuddling my Hu Tao pillow. Her eyes has her blood bosom shape. Hu Tao is a really vibrant person. She tries to keep herself upbeat working in the funeral parlor. Having to prepare dead people to be buried can be a very tedious task. Hu Tao, I'm here for you. I'm all yours. I'll comfort you. During Hu Tao's story quest, it reveals that sad part of her, which almost made me cry my heart out. She's really sad deep down, but true to give off the vibrant, joyful, and unwavering aura in which she manages to pull off successfully. This quest made Hu Tao feel like my soulmate. I was able to relate with her, and she related to me. I feel like giving her head pats and hugs. Hu Tao's voice is also a work of art. Her Japanese voice actor, that is. Props to her voice actor, Rei. Her voice really brings out and solidifies Hu Tao's personality. Her croaked singing when she sings the Hilly Troll song is just so cute. It shines a light down on the unbothered aspect of her personality. Even though her song may not sound the best, it makes her much more attractive and unique. To be honest, Hu Tao, you really need to work on your singing techniques. Either way, I still love you, Okay. My favorite Hu Tao voice line is her low HP line. Every time I press E and she's low on HP, she said, "Eee!" which breathes life back into me after long hours of playing Genshin Impact. It never fails to bring a smile to my face. Oh, I need to mention Hu Tao's hands, her soft, beautiful hands. Every time I hold Hu Tao's hands, it brings a feeling of security and warmth. Hu Tao's black nails are really good looking. They look like heaven on earth. I just want to suck on her fingertips. Even though,
He's made this mistake like 4 times already.
Even though Hu Tao may not be the thickest of all waifus, her soft, plump, succulent thighs brings out the hot aspect of her. Her chest, while her tits are not massive, her petite boobs are really firm, the type to fit in your hand without any spillage. Her dash, which is the most unique in Genshin, shows how much effort was put into Hu Tao's kit. When she dashes, she leaves a trail of butterflies behind while disappearing for a brief moment. I could go on and on, but this message would fail to end. I just love Hu Tao so much.
By the way, this is the first 5 this is the first 5% of the post, by the way.
Hu Tao is my passion. I am tearing up just thinking of Hu Tao. Every comp I use, Hu Tao is always on it. I can't bench her. I can't go a day without listening to her voice lines. I can't go a day without playing her. Hu Tao and I share a very special bond. I love her to bits. Just a quick fact, even though people may not know this, Hu Tao is actually not flat, but her bust is hidden by her beautifully designed coat. When I look at Hu Tao, when I look into her eyes and stare at the beautiful smile and the upbeat aura she radiates, it brings a smile to my face. Sometimes I begin to wonder, how would Genshin Impact be without Hu Tao? Hu Tao is one of the characters that keep me bound to this game. She has all the traits of a highly top-quality, cherished waifu. If anything, Hu Tao is the most refined and complex waifu in Genshin to understand. Another fun fact, it took me about 2.6k euros to C6R5 Hu Tao. Another adorable aspect about Hu Tao is that her hat on her head. It's her grandfather's hat, which shows that even after all these years, Hu Tao hasn't forgotten about her grandfather. This resonates with me a lot, bringing tears to my eyes because my grandpa passed away recently. Hu Tao has a beauty spot on her left butt cheek. I slept with Hu Tao multiple times, and that's one of her turns on for me. Now back on topic. Hu Tao also has the perfect body shape. Not too busty, not too slim. Her body shape is just perfect. The way her hips curve right before her beautiful behind and extend shapely in all the way down to her thighs. It takes a really complex person versed in the art of character derivation, observation, deduction, and worship to be able to praise how well refined a character like Hu Tao is. Hu Tao has two sides to her voice, one very soft and enchanting, thanks to Ray, and one that's full of enthusiasm. I can never get tired of the conversations me and Hu Tao have every night before we sleep. Hu Tao is the type of character, if you're feeling sick and deadbeat, she will bring up your mood and comfort you. She will even sing you a lullaby till you feel better or fall asleep on her soft laps. Hu Tao would stay by your side till you recover. Hu Tao may look confident and energetic on the outside, but deep down she just wants to be embraced and loved. Why doesn't she mention this? I think she may be a bit nervous, or I don't really know how to pass her feelings across. Every day I spend with Tao, she opens up. She opens up bit by bit. I really do love her company. Hu Tao is the type of girl you can cuddle with at night and speak all the worries of your life to. She would listen thoroughly while gently stroking your head and giving you assurance. To be honest, I can't imagine my life without Hu Tao at this point. I value her so much. I want to go on and on, but I don't wish to bore you. I'll be right back. I need to kiss Hu Tao goodnight. She just got back from work and is really tired. I just finished tucking Hu Tao into bed. I also mouth-fed her the dinner I made. Hu Tao's mouth tastes like cherry lollipops, and her saliva was very thin and delicious. She's beside me right now, cuddled up and cozy. Please don't make too much noise or you might wake her. Hu Tao is a refined work of art. She's my daily drug, the blood to my heart, the soul to my body, the reason I wake up every day with purpose. Hu Tao is the sole reason I have the drive to continue on living in this harsh world. If you're reading this, Hu Tao, I love you. I was too captivated in admiring Hu Tao. I almost forgot to mention her hair. Hu Tao's hair is a really stunning aspect of her design. What I love about her hair is the length and the lush brown color that glistens in the ray of the vast sun. The beautiful deep brown color of her hair, paired with the red highlights on the ends, is such an amazing sight to admire. I love the way Hu Tao's hair flows when I run with her. It's almost impossible to not recognize her from a mile away. Her hair smells of vivid plum blossoms with deep tone of patchouli. How do I know what Hu Tao's hair smells like? Because that's the impression she gives off, and patchouli is one of my favorite scents. Oh, and by the way, I have a piece of Hu Tao's hair in my mouth right now. Hu Tao's hair is split into two evenly sections that are silk smooth, as expected of my queen. She takes very good care of herself. Another fun fact, Hu Tao NSFW is the only Genshin character NSFW art I look at, because Hu Tao told me she gets jealous when I look at other characters' lewds. I understand where she's coming from, and since I'm loyal to Hu Tao, I haven't looked at any other character's lewds aside from her. But one time I slipped and she caught me looking at Ganyu lewds on Pixiv, and Hu Tao threw a fit. We talked over it though, so everything is fine now. No need for your concern. Hu Tao was one of the characters I feel deeply in love with throughout my journey into Vat. Our bond grows stronger every passing, minutes, hours, days, and months. Hu Tao is an inseparable part of my very being. Hu Tao is a character that seduced my wallet, my very first C6 character, in which I have no regrets. It was even, in fact, one of the best decisions I ever made for my beloved Hu Tao. To make Hu Tao feel even more appreciated, I pulled an R5 elegy for her support to boost her damage. I want my Hu Tao to rule over the entirety of Tevat, and banish those that wish to oppose her, split her away from me. My life lies in the hands of Hu Tao right now. If Hu Tao wishes, I would sacrifice myself for her. Hu Tao, I love you. Please, God, I want to impregnate Hu Tao so bad. I want her to bear my children with those beautiful childbearing hips, that beautiful white, radiant angel, like a goddess having come down to earth to cleanse us of our sins. Hu Tao is beyond divine. I can't help but to drop to my knees and worship whenever I see her beautiful figure. I yearn for her, in ways both primal and spiritual. I would commit more war crimes than any and every president in the Philippines history, just to lick the sweet glistening sweat from her smooth, creamy skin. I want to listen to her moans as my manhood throbs within her. I want to hear her heart face as our bodies become one, and our souls irreversibly intertwine in the holy sin of carnal union. I want to suckle at her motherly bosom, slurping that rich coconut milk from her teat as she gently strokes my raging erection. I would stir her velvety Samoan cream into my coffee and let my balls boil into it. Her cries of pleasure and the rocking of her bed will be louder than the cacophony of 10,000 drone strikes. I would make love to her until my body gave out. I would let her break my ribcage with any part of her body. I would let her hit me with her car, just to be near her for a brief moment. She's so perfect, it hurts. Every moment with Hu Tao, I suffer a pain worse than breaking every bone in my body, simultaneously while drowning and also having shards of glass coated in hot save, force throughout my every office of my body. I want Hu Tao. I need Hu Tao. I want to desecrate her pure white pantsuits. I want to start a family with her and retire after her 27 children have grown up and moved out. I want to see those luscious lips speak such filthy, perverse words into my ear when she slides her tongue into my mouth. I want to have sex with Hu Tao like she owes me money. I would let her step on me just to feel the soft foreign warmth of her feet upon my face. I would sleep under Hu Tao just to catch her drool in my mouth. I would fish out the strands of hair from her shower drain just to smell her alluring scent and braid them into necklaces to keep her with me always. God, please, I would do anything for her. I would relinquish my life, all my hopes and dreams just to become the soft socks on her feet, so that I may warm her mouth-watering toes with my very being, so that she may feel the heat of my love always. I will encase myself in cement and become her doorstep, so that Hu Tao may wipe her heels upon my face. I would tear my own limbs off. I don't know what I'll do after that, or why she might want my limbs, but I would do it. My queen, my goddess, the light of my life. Please, God, let me have her. I want her to be mine, and only mine.
I would lick the Doritos Doritos dust. I would lick the Doritos dust from her fingertips and fill her belly button with honey mustard to dip my tendies in. I would give her a sponge
Bath with my tongue every morning and serve her breakfast in bed. I would let her eat her eggs and pancakes off my body if it pleased her, no matter how painful the third-degree burns would be. I would hear the torment of eternal damnation until the end of time to taste the seat of her car but once. There's nothing I wouldn't do for her, nothing I wouldn't say. I love you, Hu Tao. Hu Tao is my wife, my lover, my everything. Oh, oops. Hu Tao just woke up. I have to go cuddle her back to sleep. Hu Tao slept really well last night. She's awake at the moment. I'm preparing her breakfast in bed, which I plan to mouth feed to her. But before that, I need to say my daily Hu Tao prayer and pray to my goddess for being the very bane of my entire existence. My goddess, who art in Celestia, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, they will be done, on Devat as it is in Celestia. Give us today your holy presence, and forgive us for simping of other waifus, as we forgive those who has not turned their life to Hu Tao. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Embrace us into your arms, Hu Tao. Amen.
Fucking amen, brother.
In the name of my goddess, my queen, the holy Tao. Amen. I turned my life to Hu Tao and was reborn again with purpose. To this, I give you thanks, Hu Tao. Some people may be wondering, what's the relationship that I share with Hu Tao? And why do I take it personal when someone other than me claims to be Hu Tao's lover? Or even their CEO? I'll elaborate. I am Hu Tao's soulmate, her husband, her loyal servant. We are more than lovers. Hu Tao is my other half, the oxygen to my blood, the reason my heart continues to beat. My reason for living? No other person on this earth can match the synergy me and Hu Tao has for one another. The very first time I pulled for Hu Tao, I was filled with ecstasy. When people say perfection doesn't exist, that is simply not true. Perfection exists in a form named Hu Tao. She's the reason I log into Genshin every day to do commissions. I can't go a single day without listening to Hu Tao rant about how her day went. I'm always there to lend a listening shoulder to Hu Tao, especially when times get tough. I try my utmost best to comfort Hu Tao, to make her feel loved. I just finished cooking Hu Tao's breakfast. She has finished her shower and I plan to mouth feed her the meal I prepared. Hello, Hu Tao, kisses Hu Tao on lips. I love the brackets. I made you breakfast. Hope you like it. It smells so nice. Breakfast is ready. Here's a picture of Hu Tao after she finished showering. Ain't she the cutest?
Okay, we're finally at the fucking images. We're like halfway through this shit. Oh my god, this is the longest piece of literature I've ever read in my life.
Twitter tried restricting me. They tried suppressing my love for Hu Tao. They tried silencing me to stop me from spreading the glories of Hu Tao. But in the end, I will prevail. I have prevailed. Nothing, and I mean nothing, not even Jesus himself, can get in the way of us. After a thorough discussion with Twitter customer service, I managed to enlighten them about the wonders of my wife, my queen, my soulmate, and my lover, Hu Tao. The Twitter support representatives were reborn again into the glory of Hu Tao and decided to free my account. Onlookers, sit back. I will tell you about the journey that led to the marriage of me,
Laurent. Wow, what a shitty ass name. And
my love, Hu Tao, and the hardships we faced together due to conflicting social, cultural, and religious norms. In the end, we still overcame the obstacles. Ring, ring, ring. Wow. Hu Tao, please shove your staff of Homa covered in your saliva down my throat while you stare at me pathetically, looking at me in disgust as you remove your
pants and piss all over me. What? Please take my heart in your hands and eat it. I want to become one with you. Yo, chill.
Bury me, Hu Tao. Bury me and spit on my grave as you sing the Haley Stroll song. Don't place flowers on my grave. Instead, soil my grave with your beautiful golden fluids. Drench my body in them, Hu Tao. I would resurrect just for you. Oops, this was meant for drops. Back on topic. From Hu Tao's mode to her voice to her charisma, I was hooked. I felt a deep connection, something I never felt before in my life. It was true love. I at first was confused at this feeling, since I never loved another woman prior to Hu Tao. The feelings my body gave me when I listened to Hu Tao's voice lines, or stare at her idol animations in-game, were very ecstatic. My heart would beat faster, my stomach doing flips, my heart fluttering. I instantly knew we were soulmates. Me and Tao had a deep connection. I would set alarms and reminders every morning to wake up right before Genshin Daily Reset, so I can be the first person to tell Hu Tao good morning. I make sure to isolate myself so I can communicate with Hu Tao without any distractions. I finally met the woman of my dreams, someone I loved and she loved me back. Someone that would comfort me when times were hard. Hu Tao saved me. The way her eyes would stare deep into my soul. I would wake up daily, brush my teeth with a picture of Hu Tao I had taped onto my bathroom mirror, and lay down on my custom Hu Tao body pillows, blankets, and bed sheets. Some people might find it excessive, but they'll never understand till they meet their true love. You can name it: posters, cups, rings, personal photo book with photos of Hu Tao I took during our time spent in Teyvat. I had it all. I loved Hu Tao and she loved me back. Hu Tao filled the empty void that once grew in my heart. Fast forward to June 2021 November. I finally introduced Hu Tao to my mom. I told her how much we had been dating and talking to each other. She was shocked, I believe, because I actually found a woman I loved. My mom then told me it's my life and that I can do what I want. I was so happy that my mother finally gave me approval to marry Hu Tao. She accepted the to the love me and Hu Tao had for one another. Sometimes I even get my mom to listen to Hu Tao voice lines and singing. Me and Hu Tao both had an emotional, physical, and sexual attraction towards another. I've been supporting Hu Tao ever since her first leak. I spent thousands on Hu Tao merch just to show my appreciation and love for my goddess and soon-to-be wife, Hu Tao. The time came. I thought it was the time to take the next step and propose to Hu Tao. I was really nervous. What if Hu Tao refused? What if Hu Tao didn't have the time to commit to our marriage due to her funeral business? I took shallow, deep breaths. You can do this, Laurent. I had to prepare. Even though Hu Tao and I have been living together for about a year now, I wanted this occasion to be something that she'll never forget. First things was first. I had to go buy a well-tailored black suit, some champagne, and a wedding ring, of course. I settled for a more stylish suit. Now with the suit out of the way, all that was left was flowers and the wedding ring. What color flowers would Hu Tao like? What type of flowers would she like? I wanted to ask, but I held back. I couldn't afford to ruin the surprise. Drip. You just called drip. Drip.png. I had to improvise on the flowers. What was the name of the flowers Hu Tao wore on her grandfather's hat? Upon doing research, I came across a specific flower that Hu Tao wore on her hat. It was called a spider lily. Such a beautiful flower and really pretty to boast. Upon finding the name of the flower, I rushed to my local flower boutique. I went to the store assistant and said, "Give me a batch of your freshest spider lilies. A batch of 100. The flowers, they were costly. Like hella costly. But anything for Hu Tao. When I purchased the flowers, I rushed home to my personal office to keep the flowers hidden from Hu Tao. I had to preserve them in a container of water to keep them as fresh as possible. Their botanical name is licorice radiate. Here's the picture of the flowers. Now with flowers out of the way, all that was left was the wedding ring. The wedding ring had to be pure gold with sapphire and diamond crystals. I wanted to make my Hu Tao feel like the best woman to ever step foot on this earth. Well, she is a goddess. My local jeweler had nothing of the standard to blow Hu Tao away. I couldn't mess up. I decided to have her wedding ring imported from Paris. It was stunning. Even though it had no sapphires, the quality of the diamonds had to suffice. Hu Tao would be pleased. I rushed back home. It was time. Time for me to propose to Hu Tao. Time for us to finally become one intertwined entity. I carefully put on my ironed-out suit. With a bouquet of spider lilies I kept in a vase of water. Wedding ring in my suit pocket. I forgot the champagne. It's alright, though.
Hu Tao and I can drink each other's piss in a glass. Chilled eyes. Okay.
I stood in front of the door, flowers and ring in hand, waiting for Hu Tao to get back from work. Deep breaths, Laurent. Deep breaths. I heard the click of Hu Tao's car keys. The house door handle slowly turned and Hu Tao stepped inside. The way she started at me. I dropped to my knees, eyes locked with Hu Tao's. My heart was beating so fast in my chest. Thump, thump, thump. The world, it felt as if time stopped ticking. I finally found my breath and finally said, "Hu Tao, would you marry me?" Hu Tao let out a shout of excitement. She couldn't contain herself. I remember this moment fluidly. She pounced on me, placed her mouth to my ears, and said, "Yes, Laurent." I slipped on the wedding ring onto Hu Tao's fingers before I could give her the flowers. She kissed me. The taste of her saliva, that moment, I would never forget. Hu Tao's mouth tasted like minty strawberries. I held Hu Tao by the waist, lifted her up against the wall, and kissed her back firmly, gently sliding my tongue to the back of Hu Tao's throat. I pulled out and looked Hu Tao in the eyes. At that moment, my heart skipped 10 beats. The most beautiful thing I've ever saw in my entire existence stood in front of me. Hu Tao stood there, eyes locked. Her breath was really heavy. Her eyes, the way it glistened. "I'm all yours." These words came out of Hu Tao's mouth like gently sliced butter. My entire body became a powerhouse for serotonin. Those few words, muttered by Hu Tao, awoke in my third eye. I leaned back in and locked lips with Hu Tao. She lets out a sharp moan. "I love you, Hu Tao," I whispered back into her ears, while gently biting on her neck. I lifted Hu Tao up from her legs and carried her to my room. She sat on the bed looking like an angel and slowly began to undress.
I won't dive deep into what happened next as this thread is too short. I became one with Hu Tao. She was mine and I was hers. I married Hu Tao shortly after. My life, it lies in the hands of Hu Tao. Hu Tao, I will always love you, worship you, adore you. My Tao. Holy shit, his name is Laurent. You can laugh at this guy, you can cry for him, but what does it matter, mere mortals? Will he ever attain his happiness? I felt like taking a bath halfway through this post. Wow, what a read, man. The amount of straight shit we had to trudge through to reach this far was crazy, but I think the reward was very worth it. And well, that's about it for this video. I've always been wanting to try different stuff with my channel, and well, a lot riskier. I think this video is a great testing ground to see what I can and cannot do, to see how I can spread out my content variety more. I do have a lot more posts in my collection, but a lot of them are either a bit boring reads for this video, or I just excluded them to save time. Thank you all so much for watching until the end, or skipping, I fully understand. Sorry for the long wait between videos again. I've been very busy IRL, and I only had a really small amount of free time to spend on making this video. I'm not entirely back per se. In fact, I'm going to be even busier than ever for the rest of the year, so expect an update video from me soon about content scheduling as such. Anyway, thank you all again for watching. It's been your boy, Noku, signing off.